different type of music, I guess I was expecting, from him. So I learned that one of Trent Reznor's favorite albums was Low, from the late '70s from David Bowie. So I looked that up and had been listening to it a lot, and I thoroughly enjoy it too. It's not anything like I really would have expected. So then recently I found out that Bowie had released a new album about a year ago called The Next Day, and I decided to give that a listen, and I've been listening to that a lot too, and I really enjoy that album. And I was just, I guess, kind of sitting there, thinking, about making another song or creating something else, and then, I thought maybe I would just show people that I can be versatile and do different things. So I guess that's just kind of how that came about. And from what I've seen, it seems like people have been listening to that one a lot and enjoy it. So I think it's kind of a good thing that I ended up doing there.
I agree. All right, and it's going to be a good thing that we play another one of your songs. This one is called Hands of a Human. Talk about it.
It was really strange. It was really one of the first ideas that came to me. And I was just, laying there in bed one night, and it kind of just came into my head, and it stuck. And not that it really may or may not have like a literal meaning. And most of the time what I'll do is, if I have an idea, I will end up searching it online to see if maybe if the idea has already been put out there, so that I don't just look like I'm copying someone. And I searched, and there wasn't anything out there that even closely really resembled that. So I just decided I would run with it and see what I could come up with. But it's just one of those random kind of things, and if people receive it a certain way, or if it means something to them, I guess that would be probably a lot better than maybe what it means to me. So that's basically how I came up with that.
You've already tried. They've trapped you
That was Hands of a Human by Radial Core, at Radial Core on Twitter. You can also follow the band on Facebook, or definitely hit up the Reverb Nation page to hear all the available music. Now, John, I don't know if you've had a chance to check out our website, firstandmonday.com, but we cover a whole lot of sports, among other things, of course. But let me ask you this. Living in Nebraska, are you required by law to be a Cornhusker fan?
I think so. At times, I almost wish that it was a law, so that we could lock up some of these people around here that don't seem to get it. Like you'll see some Nebraskans, that with even I would say my brother, for example, he has converted to an Iowa Hawkeye fan, and I don't understand why. Growing up, especially the time period I grew up, when I was younger, we won 3 out of 4 national championships. So growing up, I'm thinking, wow, we're the best thing in the world. And now, as I've gotten older, reality's kind of set in, and we haven't really done that since then. But I still stick by them, and I will continue to be a fan.
Who is your favorite Cornhusker player of all time?
That's kind of a tough one. I mean, I would probably have to just go with Tommy Frazier, just because of what he did while he was here. But it's really tough, when it comes to college football, because the guys cycle in and out so fast. It's when you look back, it's like, unless they do something that significant, it's kind of easy to just kind of forget about them, unless they, of course, go on to the pros and make their name there.
Can't go wrong with Tommy Frazier. Around the firstandmonday.com headquarter offices, there's a constant debate in the halls. Who's the best college quarterback of all time, Tommy Frazier or Tim Tebow? Well, obviously it's Frazier. But seeing as how Nebraska does not have an NFL franchise, how do you settle on a pro team to follow? Do you just gravitate to a team in the Midwest, the Chiefs, for instance?
Well, that's actually the kind of what everybody ends up seeming to do around here. Is between the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Vikings, the Packers. You really see a lot of mainly Chiefs and Packers fans around here. So what I ended up doing is just kind of went my own way. I'm actually an Atlanta Falcons fan, and that, I think that really kind of just spawned just from kind of watching NFL and playing a lot of Madden, and just ending up picking a team and sticking with it. And so it's just kind of, I've been watching them for as far back as I can remember, and people always ask me, you live in Omaha, why are you a Falcons fan? And I'm like, well, who else am I supposed to like? We don't have a team. Should I like the Chiefs? So usually, once I tell them that, they're like, okay, I guess I could see that.
I read an article recently where they were talking to some of the dudes from EA Sports, and they were ranking the best Madden in-game players of all time. Each year, players' rankings go up or down, and their number one video game character of all time for the Madden series was Michael Vick. It was from one of his years in Atlanta, where he had like basically 99 for every attribute that matters for a quarterback. Dude was an outstanding video game character, unless you wanted to play a game that had dogs in it. But I could definitely see how you would gravitate to the Falcons based on his prowess. But much like your beloved Cornhuskers, the Falcons seem to cause their fans a lot of heartbreak each year. Matty Ice coming up short, and last year was an abomination. Are they going to turn it around this year?
Yeah, I'm really hoping we can turn it around. I mean, last year obviously was a huge disappointment, especially because, to me it's like we were right there, and I definitely am not a 49ers fan now after last year's NFC Championship, but, it's like we stopped the Seahawks from getting there, and now it's like I almost feel like we weren't there to stop them this year, and you saw what happened. So if we can really just maybe pick up an offensive line, Julio Jones, he's one of my favorites, especially since he's come to the team, and he's when he's there and he's healthy, he can do amazing things. So as long as he can stay healthy, and we've got the 6th draft pick, if we can maybe pick up a few people, I think we've got a pretty good shot. But yeah, I don't really think anybody expected us to only win 4 games last year after narrowly losing to the 49ers in the NFC Championship.
All right, man. Well, John, Radial Core, very cool band. I definitely dig your sound. I think the listeners will too. Definitely go check him out. If you visit one of the websites that he's on, guys, definitely let him know that you heard him on the fam.com podcast. All right, bro. Hopefully we'll catch up again with you soon. Let me know when you get some new material. I definitely love to hear it. And do you have any last comments for the listeners?
No, just, I'm working on some new stuff, so look forward to some new music on the way, and thank you very much for this opportunity. Yeah, thank you.
You got it, man. Anytime. And that's going to wrap up episode number 24 of the FirstOfMonday.com podcast. I am your host, Bruce Harris, and until next week, be good, y'all.
I'm the GM of the Long Island Knicks. It's basically the same thing. It's my nephew's basketball team. He's sick,